talked about the translation process for the film. So I'm assuming that you have translators that are there in Cambodia helping you work with some of the people you're interviewing. But also, once the film is finished, what's the translation process like? What are you dealing with subtitles and things like that?
Well, usually, yeah, when you're on the field, you have field translators. Sometimes we rely on our characters or subjects to help us translate, especially if we don't have that much money. And then afterwards, in order to edit the footage, really, we need to get translations done. Usually, like if you have all the money in the world, you can send it off, the audio file off to a company, and they'll translate it and transcribe it for you with time code and everything. And so lately we've just been relying on a lot of friends in Cambodia and here who speak Cambodian, and to help us a little bit along the way. But we do need help with translations. I mean, that's indispensable to editing. We can't really edit unless we have the translations. And then sometimes we'll also have someone sit in with us to help us go through the footage and to make sure that the translations are accurate with how it's edited and everything like that. And then there's also the subtitling. So then with the transcripts in tow, then you subtitle the footage that you actually edit in usually, and then you run that by your interpreters or translators as well after that to make sure that it's accurate, that the translations and the subtitles are accurate with what's being heard. Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason that in the Kickstarter that we asked, we specifically cited paying for translations is that, we do have people helping us, and they're really smart people, but, the quality of your translations is crucial. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when you're, volunteers, if you're not paying people, they're not able to work on it as much or as quickly as you need. You're also maybe not getting professionals who are really understand both languages very well, but also because translation, which is a whole conversation in itself, there's a lot of the translator's own interpretation going on. And so you want someone who's really experienced, if you can get them to do it. And those people, as they should get, deserve to get paid and get paid well. So we have a lot more translations we haven't been able to do yet. Also, I would like to say that working in Cambodia in particular, as it is probably the case in other countries, but the languages are so different. It's not as simple as it is in some other languages where it's just a different word for the kind of the same thing. A lot of their words for things, particularly newer things, are a bunch of words stuck together. Like, I think they were telling me that a videographer, or like my job would be like person who shoots picture, or it's like this whole long description basically. And but in other ways, it's a very simple language that they don't have a lot of similar terms or ideas in the same way, like it's spelled out linguistically. And so it is very tricky, and that's something that we want to spend some time making sure we get right. Yeah. Luckily, our two main characters are English-speaking native people. One's from Australia, one's from England. So a lot of the film is in English, which in the documentary world, there's a lot of conversation around filming movies in Cambodia, but having these like Western main characters. And but I think the plus side of it is it makes your film a little bit more accessible and a little bit more commercial to our probably our primary audience, which would be like North American or so there's some trade-offs to that. But we do have some crucial scenes that need to be translated. But the interesting thing of that is that we're gonna then probably have to go back, and if we want to show it in Cambodia, translate the English into Khmer. And luckily that step will happen after we sell the movie. So
lots of translations.
Lots of translations.